Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the channel. We're on this job this morning just to replace the spindle on these handles. So basically the spindle's too short, so what's actually happening is that it's disconnecting from either the inside or the outside. So when you try and, because the bar is coming away, obviously when you do that it's not operating the latch. So all we're going to do is basically just put a longer spindle on, and that should then solve the problem. I'm just going to cut it down as well because it's a bit too long, so I'll just cut it down. Okay, so that job's done, but we've got another job here on this sliding patio door. Basically they couldn't get the door open, so I fiddled about with it and I've managed to get the door open, and it seems a little bit stiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mechanism out, take the cylinder out, just give it a bit of a clean up, and yeah, should be okay. I mean, it works, but it's just a little bit stiff, so I think it just needs a bit of a service. So those of you that follow me on Instagram will know that yesterday I went to the Screwfix live event up in Surrey. Down in Surrey, and yeah, I mean, I've got some mixed reactions on it really. So I buy most of my tools from Screwfix. So all my power tools, my hand tools, almost everything that I use for my job I buy from Screwfix. Two reasons for that. A, there's one almost everywhere, and B, very good on price. So whenever I'm buying something, not hand tools, but whenever I need a new power tool, I'll check to see online to see what the price is, and then I'll look at Screwfix, Toolstation, places like that, and I've found most of the time that Screwfix are the cheapest, and availability as well. You know, if I need a power tool and if I order it online, I don't want to be waiting 2-3 days to receive it. I pretty much want it the same day. So yeah, so I wanted to go last year, but I wasn't able to. So this year, I had a free day yesterday, so I thought I'll head down there and see what it's all about. So it was a massive place. So it was at the Farnborough International Centre, or Exhibition Centre or something like that. Huge. It was a massive exhibition, huge. So basically, all the brands that supply to Screwfix, they were there, so they had a stand there. I was more interested in the power tool side of it. So Milwaukee were there, Bosch, DeWalt, Milwaukee, Bosch, DeWalt, Makita, Festool. So there were the four or five stands that I was particularly interested in, just having a look at their power tools and comparing them to the DeWalt ones that I've got. So on a day-to-day basis, I will use my impact driver, my combi drill, and my grinder. So these are pretty much the three tools that I use on a day-to-day basis, and obviously, as you've just seen, all three of them are DeWalt. Now, the reason I use DeWalt is from a young age. DeWalt is all I've known. So all the tools that my dad had, they were all DeWalt. And when I first started locksmithing, DeWalt is pretty much the only brand that I knew. So the combi drill that I got before this, again it was a DeWalt one. And then when I wanted to upgrade my combi drill, again, I mean, I knew that Bosch and all those brands were out there, but DeWalt was my go-to power tool. And then obviously then I got the impact driver. Oh no, sorry, I think I got the grinder first, and then I got the impact driver. As most tradesmen do, once they buy one tool, if they're buying something else with it, or if they're buying another power tool, then they'll get the same brand, purely because obviously the battery, you can interchange the batteries. So yeah, I mean, I went round the stand, and I had a look at the Bosch power tools and the Milwaukee, and like I said, just comparing it to the DeWalt that I've got. I mean, my view on it is, a power tool is a power tool at the end of the day. As long as it does what you need it to do, it doesn't really matter what brand that you go with. I mean, obviously, yeah, the cheaper power tools are not going to last you long, and they're mostly for the DIYers. But if you're a tradesperson, then you want something that's good quality, something that's going to last you, and you're not having to replace every so often. Now, Milwaukee, they had literally, when you walked into the hall, there was Milwaukee had basically set up a massive, it was like a shop. So, they had a massive stand. They were by far the biggest stand. Out of all the brands that were there, Milwaukee had the biggest stand. And, it was good marketing, I think. When you walk in and you see this massive stand, you're automatically drawn to it, even if you don't use Milwaukee tools, or you've never even heard of them. You're immediately you were drawn to it. So I had a look at the three power tools that I use. I had a look at all three of them in all the different stands. I looked at the Bosch one, the Makita ones, the DeWalt ones, the Milwaukee ones. And yeah, I mean, like I said, they all felt good. I used them as well, and they all felt good. They like I said, I mean, a power tool is a power tool, and all the power tools do the same thing. I think it just depends, what you prefer. I mean, the Milwaukee one did slightly have an upper hand. It just felt good in my hand. It was light as well. It was lighter than the DeWalt ones, definitely. But the thing with Milwaukee tools is that they're expensive. I mean, I saw a combi set, so an impact driver and a combi drill. It was 250 quid or something like that, with a 4 amp battery. Now, I think that's pretty expensive, considering that I got this and this. I mean, obviously I bought them separately, but together I think they cost me, I think about 200 quid or something like that. However, the Milwaukee, the combi set was on offer. I think it was 30% off or something like that. So it was a good deal. But in general, if you buy Milwaukee, generally they can be quite expensive. But yeah, I mean, and then I had a look at the Bosch ones and the Makita ones, and the Hitachi ones. And yeah, pretty much they all, felt the same. But, DeWalt, I've been using DeWalt for, 10 years or so now. And, very reliable. I've never had a problem with any of the tools that I've got. So yeah, I mean, that was the main reason that I went, to be honest. And honestly, now that I've been once, I don't think I'll be going next year, because if you're constantly renewing your tools and constantly buying new power tools and stuff like that, it's worth going. But if you're happy with the tools that you've got and you don't need to keep replacing them, then, and to be honest, it was 3 hours away, so it's not as if it's around the corner. So I've been once, and I don't think I'll be going again. But yeah, that was my experience of it. And one good thing about these types of exhibitions is you'll find all types of people there. And I met quite a few people, and then I spoke to quite a few people. There were tradesmen there. There were DIYers there, people who don't even do any DIY, they just come along, just to see what it was all about. And yeah, there were an array of different people there, which was good to see. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I must say, I did enjoy it, but it's not something that I'll be going to again. Right. So with this, I'm just going to take the handles off, and then take the mechanism out and just give it a clean, and we should be done. Hello again, guys. Right, so job's done. I've sorted it out. I took everything off, sprayed it with WD-40, one of the best tools in my bag, and yeah, gave it a proper clean, and yeah, it seems to be working fine, but look at the mess that I've made. I need to learn to be a bit more tidier when I'm working. But yeah, I'm just going to show you this, show you it working, and we should be done here.